What's up, girls? Happy New Year. I'm about to head to Walgreens, which means it's time to take my Xanax. And that one. And that one. I've had a couple very Karen moments with the Walgreens pharmacist this week. And now is the bad part where I actually have to go in and face them face to face instead of yelling at them on the phone. But my prescription that I take, that I have to fill every single month because it's a controlled substance, it took 7 phone calls this month to get that prescription filled. 7 phone calls and 1 e-visit to my regular doctor because this is America and it is just that fucking hard. Like, oh yes, let's place the entire burden of getting your medication on the mentally ill woman with ADHD. Yeah, sure. I've got time to make 7 phone calls to get my medicine filled every single month. Sure. But my New Year's resolution is to not be such a hater. And so I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna have a pleasant face, I'm gonna have this Xanax kicking in, and I'm gonna say, may I please have my drugs? And they will give them to me. And if not, I'm gonna go full King Kong style, knocking shelves over, frightening children, and I might wind up in jail. So life is an adventure. It's 2025. Let's get weird with it. It's 7 degrees outside, but I'm not gonna zip my jacket up because I'm too fat. There it is, these evil fucks. Whatever happens, I will not be provoked. I will not be provoked. Well, I was filled with rage, but I didn't yell. 289. Fucking highway robbery. I'm drinking my Diet Pepsi out of this beautiful Roadrunner cup that I got for free at a free swap meet. I went and it was fine. And I even bought a little lip stain. I don't know, my friend Josie showed me lip stain the other night on New Year's Eve, and then we went out to a bar. I'll put a little clip here. But, yeah, and also she taught me about how you make eye contact with men across the bar when you want to flirt with them. And I had never done that before. And I've been feeling a type of way about how looking someone in the eye in an attempt to flirt with them is inviting them to make a judgment about my appearance, which me and my body dysmorphia and low self-esteem are not comfortable with at all. I guess I can share some other life updates. 1, I got a job. After quitting my job, I was unemployed for 3 months. The first month I planned to be unemployed, but then those second 2 months, I thought it would be really easy to find a new job, and it wasn't easy. But the good news is that I did find one. It's a step down in responsibility from my last job, but it pays the same, and I don't have to talk to my bitch supervisor ever again. 2, the last video I released, I think, was called Day 1 Sobriety, because I had to quit the marijuana again, and good news, I'm on day 44 of sobriety now, so I'm right back on that sober train. I'm feeling very mellow from that Xanax I took. But yeah, my new job, I'm actually really excited. All the people there are so nice, and I get to work from home for the first 3 months. And then after that, it's going to become a hybrid schedule where I'll be going to the office 3 days a week, which I wanted. I want to stop looking at the same corner of my bedroom every single day. I am an extrovert. I like being around people. And so that was a change I wanted from my last job. I don't want to work entirely from home anymore. But it's so much of it is like exactly the same process as I did at my last job. It's just different systems and different quirks. So it's been a breeze picking it up, and I feel like I'm right where they want me to be with training. And having a paycheck coming in after just sweating and crying and spending your entire emergency fund savings account for 3 months is really nice. I did wind up taking a little bit out of my retirement fund just to give me just a little bit of a safety net while I'm rebuilding financially, which is going to take about a year, just realistically on the salary that I have. I don't mind telling you how much money I left my job with. I left my job with $10,000 in a savings account. And I thought that's take this job and shove it money. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I am going to take a whole month to recover from burnout and the trauma of having to work with this abusive boss. And, first of all, life comes at you fast. Second of all, health insurance is insane. I don't know what I was doing before I got a job with benefits. Probably just like not having health insurance. But I had no idea how expensive it is to purchase health insurance on the free market. Awful. But I'm really happy with my job, and I'm going to like an office party next week, 2 office parties next week. And I'm gonna have a bagel. But yeah, the marijuana withdrawal I did this time was no joke. For some reason, it's the hardest withdrawal I've ever done. And, I smoked crack. I did heroin. Admittedly, I wasn't addicted to either of those drugs, but you'd think the come down would be worse than some weed, but no. I spent probably the first 3 days of withdrawal just laying in bed and wishing I was dead. Had a plan. I think I may have said this in my last video. No, I wouldn't have, because that was only 1 day sober. Yeah, I had a plan. I had all my supplies. I was really debating about whether or not I wanted to be alive anymore. Obviously, I won out on the alive side. But, God, it's just no joke. People really treat marijuana like it's a joke, and it's not. It is psychologically fucking devastating me. Because I had also been using weed to cover up so many of the feelings I'd been having over the past year about my career falling apart at this job I'd had for 6 years because I was being humiliated and singled out by my boss. Then quitting that job and the unknown of the future, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? I wound up going into the same kind of job because it's a desk job, it's an email job, and it pays well enough to support me just fine, which is $28 an hour. In Minneapolis, that is enough for one single lady to live in the city in a pretty nice studio apartment in the hood. Speaking of being singled out and humiliated, I had a very traumatic and validating experience recently. I know over the past year I've talked about being in a book club and a film club, and they're both run by a man named Greg. Oh wait, no, let's think of an alias for him. I'll call him Greg and I'll call his wife. Okay, but that's not their real names. So, oh, my bagel. Sorry, bagel break. So anyway, I've been going to this book club and film club for about 2 years now. And I became pretty good friends with the hosts. We hung out outside of the clubs a bunch. We went to movies together. They've been to my apartment. Going to dinner together, that sort of thing. They came to my birthday party last year when we went and saw a porn film festival. And it's not like that, okay? It's not like some weird throuple situation, because... Sorry. I'm a little bitter right at this moment. But anyway, so at the last film club, we watched this movie called A Woman Under the Influence. It's a 1974 film by John Cassavetes about a mentally ill woman who is married to a guy who's controlling and has a temper but loves her, and she has 3 children. And she's mentally ill, and they send her to a mental hospital for 6 months. And that's the basic plot synopsis. So something to know about Greg is that he has a secret Twitter account that I don't know what it is, but my friend does. And she showed it to me a couple times, and I honestly couldn't tell what this Twitter account was, because it's this kind of like anti-woke stuff, like aging liberal suddenly, but like with hard right, like social views, especially against people who are mentally ill and fat and have ADHD, all of which I have. Like, for example, just this is really vulgar, so I apologize, but like an example tweet would be, hey, since so many people have autism and ADHD now, why don't we just call them what they are? Retards. Okay, end tweet. Okay? But like, who he is in person is completely different than that. So I've never been able, and like his political views on this Twitter, they don't make any sense. And so I just didn't know what was going on with that. So I said, okay, I'm just gonna let this guy be who he actually is to me in the real world. I'll leave it at that. But like, it wasn't good though. I mean, I saw him be so mean to people sometimes. Like, there was this old woman who was in our book club, and she couldn't make it one night, so she emailed him and was like, "Dear Greg, I can't make it tonight, but I'll be back soon. Thank you so much for organizing this event. Really appreciate it. See you soon, old lady." And Greg emailed her back and was just like, "Just so you know, it is extremely rude to tell someone thank you for organizing, because it implies that I organized it for you. I did not organize this for you, blah, 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 blah." And then told me and everybody at the book club about this, like that is a normal way to react. And we would all be like, yeah, how rude. That was so rude of her, blah, blah. And yeah, she never came back to the book club. Old lady, who knows how many social outlets she had, right? Fucked up, like not normal way of thinking. And his wife was agreeing with him. So anyway, we watched Woman Under the Influence. And so Greg came in. So here's the thing, is that Greg's film analysis recently has been completely dog shit. He thought that the substance was about how women are vapid and only care about the way that they look. Okay, just it needs an intro to feminism course. Like literally struggling with the male and female gaze, okay? And then his opinion about a different John Cassavetes movie we watched, Minnie and Moskowitz, a couple weeks ago, was just as awful. I mean, he thought that a man physically like threatening a woman was a romantic gesture, and that, he threatened to stab her with his scissors unless she married him. Well, that's just because love isn't perfect. Right? Okay, so I'm just like dreading what he's gonna say about this movie, right? So his take is the woman is not actually mentally ill. It's society that's sick. And she can't help but act that way because of society. And this is just a factually incorrect, bad reading of this movie. I was like, Greg, what about the time where she sent her kids off with her mother-in-law, and then 10 minutes later was inconsolably running around her house, frightened to death, not knowing where her children were? Or she undressed her like 7-year-old daughter in front of a man that she didn't know, had just met, and then had the child running around the house naked. Like, she's not she is not capable of taking care of herself, right? Like, she's engaging in extremely risky behavior in a situation where she has 3 children she's looking after. Anyway, he got so mad that I was contradicting him and that people were agreeing with me that he decided to air some views out that were very pointedly about me. He said that people who take medication are just being duped by the pharmacy industry, the pharmaceutical industry, into becoming more, more compliant with society. And that mental illness is just when people don't fit into society's view of how a person should think. And I was like, hey, Greg, so, like, did you know that being mentally ill is, like, extremely painful? Are you mentally ill? Do you have any idea what you're talking about right now? And listen to this brilliant idea he has. He says, well, if I said I was mentally ill, then I wouldn't be. Because if you are aware that you're mentally ill and you talk about it, then you're not actually mentally ill, you're just attention seeking, I think is what he meant by that. And then also, so basically what he was saying is that I am not mentally ill. I'm faking it, and I've been duped by society or by the pharmaceutical industry into taking these meds that I don't really need. And on top of that, I'm just getting high on them. That I'm just being a drug addict by taking my prescribed medication. And it was done in a very humiliating way, where he was like going around and like asking each person, like, don't you think so? Don't you think so? And like everybody was disagreeing with him because that is cuckoo bananas. Even his own wife was like, Greg, you know my brother has bipolar disorder and he has to take medication. And I am not a flight type, I'm a fight type. And so I said very loudly across the table, I said, hey Greg, you are a rude, ignorant motherfucker. Did you know that? And I turned to my friend, I was like, Josie, pay for my meal. I'm out of here. And then I stood up and I said, fuck you. It was extremely clearly enunciated. It was the strongest, most heartfelt fuck you of my life, I think. And then I left. It was a strong move. I didn't feel bad about it then. I don't feel bad about it now. Felt like a good self-esteem move for me. And yeah, so I left, and my friend came over afterwards and told me that it was very awkwardly silent, not only at our table, but in the entire restaurant after I stormed out that way. And that a couple people looked like they were about to cry. And I just want to report that was 2 weeks ago. And and of course I blocked them like before I even got out of my car when I got home, but we did the book club and the film club through the Meetup app, so I left the group, but I can still see the events, right? And I might have looked, and of the 10 plus people who were there last week, only one of them RSVP'd to the film club that's happening right now. And I'm very satisfied by that. People saw the cruel bullying for what it was, and they saw me stand up for myself and not take that shit and leave. And looks like none of them wanted to come back either. Lost your whole crew because a fat, mentally ill woman contradicted your opinion and people agreed with me more. The more you know. Look at this other stuff I got. I got an eyebrow shaper, which I've never done. My eyebrows just naturally look this way. They really do. I remember when I was a kid, my dad told me that my eyebrows were a really nice shape and to never pluck them. And it's one of the only compliments about my appearance he ever gave me, so it stuck. I got another lipstick, actually. And then I got this eyeliner pencil. I haven't had an eyeliner pencil in, well, now it's covered with cream cheese, but that's fine. I haven't had like an eyeliner pencil in a really long time. And then I got this beautiful, I don't know if the color will translate, but it's this beautiful like Barbie pink nail polish, which I think is gonna look great with my skin tone and coloring. Another thing that's happened recently is I put up these lights and I've been sleeping under red lights. It makes me feel a little sexy before I go to bed. And it's like, it's a little satanic. I'll have to tell you about the witchcraft I did at New Year's some other video, but I just wanted to make a video, say hi. I might come back to this, I don't know, you know me. I make a video, I disappear for a while, but I always come back. So, thanks for watching. Bye.